Well, all right. Man in the Basement, episode 8, take 1. Here we go. Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Man in the Basement, aka Deacon Cassidy, coming at you once again. I got it's actually not a new topic, but it's new to this show. And it's all the rage right now. It's all people talking about. And I've been getting, people asking me, just once in a while, hey, why don't you cover this? And frankly, it's been something I've been talking about in my stand-up for a long time. And it's just all the rage right now. And it's celebrity downfalls. Now, the latest, greatest downfall, I'm sure you're all well aware of it, is Sean P. Diddy Combs. Now, I want to preface this as, it's more of a question. Is anyone surprised? Is anyone out there shocked? I'll come back and forth, but when a celebrity does something so boneheadedly stupid, are you really shocked that this guy turned out to be a scumbag? He hits women, manipulates people, allegedly assassinates people, all in the name of financial gain and power. Now, first of all, and I also want to say, he's not the first and only to do it. This dates back to the dawn of Hollywood. This goes back to the Bible. And I don't want to get too biblical, too preachy on anyone, but if you know anything about religion, if you watch this show, some of our fans are religious, and that's awesome. I'm Christian, not ashamed to admit it, and it's amazing how a lot of this stuff is right there in the Bible. And I take P. Diddy Combs just because he's the hottest thing right now who's going flush down the toilet. And I hearken back to King Belshazzar. I hope I'm saying that. Belshazzar. Now, if you don't know anything about this man, he was King Nebuchadnezzar's son. And basically he inherited the king of the Babylonian kingdom. And now I want to kind of do a little history lesson. A lot of you guys know I'm a history buff, so I love idioms. Now, people throw around the term, the writing is on the wall. The writing is on the wall. And most of us know the meaning of that to be, it's obvious what's going to happen. The writing's on the wall. Anyone can see it. That goes back to this King Belshazzar. Sorry, I'm doing my best. I know this is half informative, half comedy. King Belshazzar. If you have a comment, but you know who I'm talking about. So he throws this lavish party. They're worshiping gold and silver and just very obnoxiously wealthy. Everything. What are they called? Concubines, which is just an old school term for prostitute. It's Hollywood. The Babylonian Empire with this King Belshazzar is no different from Hollywood. They thought they were greater than God or any of this other stuff. So literally a hand, a spiritual hand comes out and writes on the wall. This guy can't interpret it. His wizards and whatever they call them, sorcerers, they can't tell what it says. So they bring in this guy named Daniel. And he says, basically, you're doomed, And he still can't believe it. He's like, oh, okay, here's a gold chain and some robes. And he's like, I don't care. It's doomed. And then literally that night, the Persians come in, kill the dude, take over the village. I see Hollywood. Now, some of you out there, there's one particular viewer, he's been watching me for years, and he knows I've taken ultra risks by saying stuff. But in this circumstance, I've been saying this for years, and I'm sure several other podcasters and entertainment people, these people are scumbags. These people in Hollywood are scum. You don't want to be around them. That's why every young person breaking in is super excited. Oh, I'm going to be the next Julia Roberts. I'm going to be the next Tom Hanks. I'm going to be the next, Robin Williams. These people are miserable. They're miserable people, and they've seen things that they can't unsee. So they compensate and they cope with it by doing even worse things to kind of raise themselves up to a level of godlike behavior where they're worshipped, where they can do no wrong. There was some movie recently. It was like, I can't, what was it? I think it was like one of the Marvel Comics movies. If you know what I'm talking about, leave a comment. Guy's like, I can't be killed. And he's like, he's got all these superpowers, and seemingly no one can kill him, and then they figure out, he can be killed. That's an analogy for Hollywood, too. They get to this level, this status of they have worshipers, idolizers. Look at every award show. What do they get? They get a golden statue. And people work their lives up. They do unimaginable things to achieve that. Gold and silver they worship. Look at me. I've always been humble. Like, even when I was on sets, I was always humble. I didn't play the game. And I'm podcasting in a. I like it. I'm proud of it. I like the studio. I like the Man in the Basement studios. If you like this, check out Age Gap Podcast. But I'm telling you, the writing is on the wall. P. Diddy will be several of many. Remember Weinstein, whatever? He went down a few years ago, and everybody was like, whoa, I have nothing to do with this guy. Then the Epstein Island thing, and everyone was like, whoa, I got nothing to do with this guy. P. Diddy, you're going to see all his cronies, all his toadies going to turn on him. You're going to see, look at all, you know what I love? If you watch Age Gap Podcast, I highly recommend it. It's me and Luke Hang. It's a funny show, but all our guests are very wholesome people. They have clean hands. They're funny. They're entertaining, and where I'm going with this is, and then you look at these magazine shows, these late night shows. You got it used to be Letterman, Leno. Then now the ones, who is it? Fallon, Kimmel, Ellen DeGeneres at some point. They bring on the A-listers, and they kiss their ass so hard, and then when they go down, see you later. When Lou and I bring on guests, I'm never afraid that I'm going to have to be like, I had nothing to do with that dude. I don't know who that person is, And then 6 years later, they find this footage. So, like I said, the topic of the show is Hollywood, the Titanic of Hollywood, not the movie, not the Leonardo DiCaprio movie, but it's actually becoming a living, sinking ship. And I make the joke that it's so good because there's so much untapped talent out here. People that can come on this show, comedy shows that I've been to, and I'm like, damn, these people, you just never heard of them. And the greatest advice I can give the younger generation, if you're watching this show, don't beat your girlfriend ever. That's just a no-brainer. Stay away from drugs. These are just no-brainers. And if you can do this, if you can successfully maintain a clean image, there is a possibility you will be a working actor, which is everybody's dream. Because, man, the hunt is on. I'm telling you. And with politicians, too. These politicians, first of all, a lot of these people I've met, they can't tie their shoes. You would be shocked how dumb these people are. And then you turn it, but that's what they do. They're entertainers. That's their job. All right, that's fine. Just stay the hell away from my family and friends. Politicians are just as bad. They just come off as like intellectuals. They love to call themselves academics. Ask yourself one question. How many of these politicians, how many of these actors would you trust with your dog for a weekend? To walk the dog, to feed the dog, to play with the dog, not let the dog run out of the yard. Let's say that's a survey. Let's say that's a poll. I wish I knew how to do it, but I'd love to see the results. I guarantee it's sub 20%. I wouldn't let some of these politicians, I'm going to do my best to leave. No, I shouldn't have to leave names out of it, but for sake of this show, like my buddy out there, he knows who he is. I don't want to put others at risk, but most of these politicians I wouldn't let walk my dog. So that's it. I don't want to go too long. I know this topic has been covered by bigger, more funded shows, I should say. But The Man in the Basement, Dropping the Knowledge, I know we had some fun, but I'm dead serious. Stay the hell away from these people. Do not idolize. Do not idolize these people, because once you do that, man, it's a sinking ship, and you're gonna. I mean, how many football jerseys did people have to burn over the years because dogfighting or prostitution or just overall bad behavior? And I'm not saying that's everyone in the sports world. I'm sure there's some great people, good inspirations, good role models for kids. But just be careful. Keep your cards close to the vest before you go jumping on these bandwagons of worship of like I said, for this show, we're going to keep it cool, going to keep it calm, but I'd love to hear from your comments, and most of you adults know what I'm alluding to. And if you have any experience in Hollywood, in entertainment, either you're a writer, producer, production assistant, or an actor, I'd love to hear if you have a story or advice for our listeners. But yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed the show. As always, please contact me at Deacon Cassidy 00013 at gmail.com. Check the show out on YouTube. Yeah, hopefully I got some more content coming to you later this week. And hopefully I'll learn how to do those shorts and add in subscribe here. But you know how to subscribe. But yeah, I thought this was a good one. Thank you very much. And like I said, be safe out there. All right. Thanks, kids.